What's going on, LA Sparks Weekly? You already know me. It's DJ Treacy Trees, and the Chicago Sky break their 7-game losing streak and have another chance to fight for that final 8th spot in the playoffs. Angel Reese was too much. Kennedy Carter was back. It was just too much. The Sparks really fought hard, but unfortunately lost 92-78. I have a special guest in the studio with me today. Make sure you stay tuned to LA Sparks Weekly. What's going on, Infanity TV? It's DJ Treacy Trees, and welcome back to another episode of LA Sparks Weekly. The Chicago Sky took us down, y'all. We really tried to put up a fight, but they've got so much on the line with that 8th playoff spot happening. I'm not alone here in the studio. I've got our familiar friend, Kahari. Everybody, welcome Kahari back to the show.
What's happening? What's going on?
Kahari, man, we were off to such a good start. Give me your initial thoughts on what happened tonight against the Chicago Sky.
My initial thoughts is I loved what I seen in the first half from the team. Like, it was a game. It was neck and neck. They were playing great defense. I think they was tied and switched points 6 times or whatever. You know what I mean? So just what I see is just the team and the pieces that you can start building for the future. That's what I started seeing. Like, this could be a potential, playoff team in the future.
Yeah, I agree with you. But let's also talk about the fact that we kind of backsliding a little bit. Because the last 10 to 12 games, we've been showing up for 3 quarters, and then 1 quarter kind of gets away from us. Tonight, it seemed like the whole second half got away from us. At halftime, we were in just a 6-point slide. You know, we had a chance to catch up there. But something went very wrong in that third quarter. Like, give me your thoughts of where we started to go wrong in that third quarter.
Well, you started off wrong with defense. You know, I feel like they wasn't playing with the same intensity. They went away from Rakia. Rakia wouldn't get too many touches. They wasn't really getting much offense going. The Sky had 27 points in the third quarter. Like, that was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you on the defense and the offense as well. Rakia was cooking that first half. She really was, getting her own rebounds and being aggressive. I think it was one of those things where Coach Miller said, she's earned this extra attention, and the Sky just made the adjustments that they needed to make in order to convert. Let's talk about the Sky shooting 3-pointers. Ban from 3. Even Angel Reese hit a 3 there at the end.
Exactly.
Like, what's your thoughts on Chicago Sky's strategy around the 3-point arc tonight?
I think they took advantage of that. You know, they was just getting open shots. They was literally just hitting everything. I don't think they did anything spectacular. They were literally just knocking down shots. Banner went crazy. You let Kennedy Carter go crazy. Then like you said, Angel Reese hit one, and De'Erica was looking like there's no way you're gonna hit this, and she made it. So it was just happened to be one of those nights. I don't think they had some big strategy. That they had. It was the shots were just falling.
Yeah, and I think it had a lot to do too with the Sparks were scoring more effectively in the paint in the first half. And it feels like Teaspoon and the Chicago Sky basically just said, all right, well, you're going to score in the paint. We're going to score from the 3-point line, and they kind of just changed up the strategy. But, man, Kennedy Carter was out the last I'm not sure if she was out the last 7 games, but they've lost the last 7 games, and they really missed her presence. Tonight was her first night back. It was a very crucial game because the Atlanta Dream just won and overtook them for the 8th spot. So they needed this in order to tie for the 8th spot. How important was Kennedy Carter to this game tonight?
She was very important. You can tell that she's playoff ready. Like, she's been here before. She's won a championship. She's actually showing her leadership skills. You can tell her with the way she went out tonight. You can tell that she's ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know how far they're gonna go in the playoffs. I mean, think about it.
I'm not saying they're gonna go far, but she's ready to bring it.
To play.
She's ready to play. Like, we need this win. Let's go. And also, like I said, I wouldn't want to play the Chicago Sky in the playoffs either.
Yeah, because, I mean, they're real unpredictable, too. Because it's like, how do you lose 7 games and have an explosive game like this where you just, at halftime, almost switch gears and just take off? It's insane. Let's talk about Angel Reese and Rickea Jackson tonight. We saw 2 of the rookies who are outstanding in the draft class. In my opinion, Angel Reese is 2 in the Rookie of the Year, number 2 in the Rookie of the Year conversation. And Rickea Jackson is a close 3rd. She's one of the most efficient scorers. But tonight, Angel had herself a game. So how do you feel like those 2 rookies in this draft class matched up tonight?
I feel like they matched up really well. You can always tell, and that's the one thing I want to ask Rickea tonight, just about, like, you can see that players are going at you. You can tell they taking it personal when they go at you, in the sense like they know you're a competitor.
Yeah.
So I see the way that Angel and Rickea match up, like you said, like a lot of commentators are saying that if it wasn't for all the hype and things of that nature, if it was any other year, Rickea would be guaranteed Rookie of the Year.
For sure.
You know, and the way they match up, I still believe that Rickea is a better player. Angel has the popularity, but I've been saying it from the beginning. You can ask Mikhail that Rickea is one of the best players in this draft.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Rickea's game all around is better than Angel Reese's. Angel has found her lane, also has been starting with the Sky the whole year. Rickea wasn't starting with the Sparks. She had to earn her way up and then adapt to playing the 3 and the 4. So she's playing multiple positions, whereas Angel Reese has the same position on the block every single night, pulling another triple-double.
Yeah, she
like
had different challenges. She had different challenges, and that's one thing that Kurt praises Rickea on, the way that she developed and actually learned with the help from the assistant coaches.
Yep.
So Rickea was going through development quickly all year. She had to learn fast.
Yes, yeah, I agree. And watching her square up and shoot those threes and also score in the paint, she had like 3 and 1s back-to-back in the game where she's just pounding the glass and going up and drawing the contact. So you got to love players like Rickea Jackson tonight. But it just seems like we got outscored. De'Erica Hamby with 21 points, 4 rebounds. Rickea Jackson, 17 points and 6 rebounds. No other Spark tonight reached double digits. That's tough when you got a Chicago Sky team with 5 players in double digits. What do you think we could have offensively done to just put more points on the board and put more baskets, get more baskets?
I would say just run more sets. It's kind of like Kurt, just letting them see what's going on. Like I said, he's building for the future. Just run more sets and see what's going on. Once you see that, okay, they turn their hand in on they doubling down on Rickea.
Yep.
That's not working anymore. Let's go away from that. That's where you got to start running sets and even run some motion to get other people going, get Ray going.
Yeah.
Get De'Erica going. You know, get Azare going, things of that nature, trying to see where we can get some offense from. You got to try to pull it in different. That's where you come in as a coach.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned Ray because tonight was Ray's first time in the starting lineup.
Yes.
I tweeted it. I put it on my Instagram story. I'm like, come on, Ray. How do you think Ray did tonight on the first night where she was in that starting lineup?
Well, today you could just tell the confidence. I'm not going to look at numbers. I'm not going to think what she did on the board or statistically, but I saw how she was confident. You could tell that she's not worried about coming out.
Yeah.
She plays better and definitely more confident when she knows, okay, I got room to make mistakes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I could tell the way she was running, grabbing rebounds.
Yeah.
You know, just her whole body language and energy was different tonight.
Yeah. Dare I say that we've actually turned that corner in the season where coach is like, you know what? I'm just going to play Ray because she is a part of the building blocks for the future.
We've been saying it all season. We were like, yo, coach, the fans been tweeting them.
Yes.
Yo, adding them like, yo, coach, play Ray.
Yeah.
So that's why he's like, okay, he's hearing it, he's seeing it, and now we're seeing the benefits of what Ray getting playing time.
Yep, and you know what? He played Ray, and Zaya played too. She didn't play a whole bunch of minutes. Let's see how many minutes Zaya Cook played.
And while you're looking at that, you can see that you got to keep the connection going between Ray and Rickea. Like, they're both athletic. They got that dog in them.
Yep.
Keep them playing together and active and see what they can do. Like, the energy they bring on the court can be something.
Yep, and I think Zaya played 9 minutes, by the way. I think he put Zaya in because Zaya's a good offensive spark to go against a Carter. You know, like counteract the times where they take Kennedy out the game, throw Zaya in so she can kind of play that quick, fast roll and hunt her buckets in order to get to it. But, y'all, we going to the press conference. We are live with the team, Rickea, De'Erica, and Coach. Let's go.
followed by questions for players first only.
Disappointing middle quarters for us tonight against giving up 56 points in those middle quarters really just put us on our heels. It was a defensive night that, it's just really frustrating that they shot over 50%, over 43% from the arc, had their second highest point total of the year, and just frustrating. Didn't execute very many things that we wanted to do defensively, and really don't have a lot of answers why we couldn't get some of that done. These two continue to play hard, tried to put us on their back offensively, made 14 of our 29 field goals. They were both, between the two of them, 14 of 28. So we were efficient with these guys. We just didn't have enough help. And certainly it started at the defensive end.
Questions for players only. We'll start with Rashawn.
Hey, Rakia. Sticking back or with the defense, coach was just talking about, I think on a positive, the strides you've shown as a help side defender have been imminent these last few games or so. What have you seen? Does that come from watching film, or is that more instinctual? How have you sort of developed that way?
I mean, some of it is film, some of it is Kurt saying on me about it. In a game, I could be across the court and all I hear is flow, flow, flow. So to make sure that I don't keep hearing that, I just get there.
You said flow is what he says to you?
Flow, cleanse, flow, everything you can think of.
Nice. Thank you.
Infanity.
Hey, DJ from Infanity TV. This question is for Rakia. Tonight you had 3 blocks. So can you talk a little bit about your defensive spark playing against the Chicago Sky tonight?
I don't think it's just against them. I feel like every game, I try to make strides on the defensive end. I tried to cleanse to the ball more. I know they got quick guards, so I wanted to be in help for my teammates just in case they got blown by. This team, their guards doesn't really give a lot of shot fakes, so I just knew like once they pick the ball up, I can kind of just time their blocks. And that just came from like watching films and things like that.
And this is a question for Rakia as well. Like, can you give your thoughts on just players, when they see you and then they want to, they just want to really compete. You can tell I'm not saying necessarily they're taking it personal, but, you can tell they kind of want to go at you out of respect. Is that something that you've been noticing these past, really all season?
I mean, the other game, like Coach Kurt was just like, you earned this attention on the offensive end. So, I mean, it's cute, I guess. I mean, I don't know, like, they take it personal. I think I like it, like, I don't want no one to just take it easy on me, challenge my defense a little bit, especially when they're going hard at me and I feel like I stayed in front of them, like one-on-one. I feel proud of myself. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's cute.
Jackie.
Hey, Jackie with Jackie Ray TV. Derica, this one is for you. Obviously, when things get frustrating, as a leader on the team, especially at halftime, we see the chemistry continue to grow between all of you. But is there a halftime speech that you give to try to make adjustments so these young players can go out there and see the game and the floor a little differently?
No. Coach gets on me about it. He wants me to give halftime speeches, and that's just something I'm trying to find in my leadership because it's not instinctual for me. I don't discipline my kids like that, so I don't. It's a learning curve that I'm gonna have to find in the off season, to bring back to this team. But just try to reemphasize the things we are doing well, and then I'll talk about what we aren't doing well, but I'm not really giving any speeches.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, guys.
We'll head to questions for Kurt. Infanity.
Hey, Coach, it's DJ from Infanity TV. It seems like in the second half, the team almost came out as a different team. Did you have a moment where you kind of pinpointed where you noticed that the tide changed in the game?
It was frustrating after a 29-point quarter and most of the halftime, talking about defense and where we are having slippage in what our coverages were trying to be, that we didn't get a stop, for the first 4 or 5 minutes of that third quarter. So that 56 points in those middle quarters for them, probably rivals the highest 2 consecutive quarters that they've had all year offensively. So it's just really frustrating that we could not bear down and get stops tonight individually or as a team. Again, we just will keep reminding them of what we were trying to do, and we weren't accomplishing it. And I don't know if it's a lack of focus. They were tired. They let any offensive stuff affect the way they play defense, but we have to be better defensively than we were tonight.
Coach, can you talk about just what did you see? Like, you seemed like the first half, you guys were neck and neck, and can you elaborate on just what did you see the switch?
Yeah, I just, again, Carter's dynamic and can play make. But, there's lots of attention to Reese and Cardoza and trying to give congestion and help in the paint around them and try to keep them off the glass. But when you supplement, Rachel going 3 for 3 from the arc, we knew that there is a coaching tendency, a X and O tendency of that team out of ATOs, out of timeouts, or out of situations when Rachel gets in. Almost all the plays are run for her, and our players knew that. And sure enough, they ran a play where we had slippage in how we wanted to guard it, and Rachel got a 3. It's those kind of things that happen within the game. Things that we were doing within the game that the average spectator won't know what we were trying to accomplish or what we had talked about. And those things happening, those really affected us tonight, not only in the game, but emotionally, because they all knew when it was happening that we've talked about it, and it was a key and it was important for us. And so when those things consistently happen tonight, on things that we were looking for and anticipating and knowing that were coming at us, still hurt us tonight, it's almost deflating emotionally. And so, I haven't felt like this in a long time with this group, that they knew so much about what was going to happen, and they just couldn't stop it. Was just a frustrating night for all of us.
Rashawn?
Hey, Coach, it's one thing to be facing a team that's dropped, that's riding a losing streak, but then also, like, there's a heightened sense of urgency with them trying to hold on to a playoff spot as well. What can be learned facing a team like that, playing with that type of urgency for a young squad like yours?
Yeah, I mean, we have honest talk, and we talk about it with this group about like how important a game is for someone, and what kind of emotion and the energy that you're going to need to match or exceed, especially on the road. And you just got to keep talking about it, but until it's like you don't want to be a staff that says, I told you, like we told you, hey, like we talked about what Kennedy has all over social media and how important this stretch was and how important tonight was. But they have to feel it and live it. And if they're not responding to just the talk about it, they have to be able to respond after they feel it. And was it a game that their Chicago's want to was higher than ours? That's frustrating at this level. Every game, everybody should have great want to.
Thanks, Coach. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Jackie?
Hey, Coach, kind of to piggyback on that, we've talked about this all season, where they're not playing the full 4 quarters, and sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's fatigue. Is that something that you can really coach them through, given that this is a young team, or is this something that they just have to go through and experience and get to the other side?
Yeah, they got to experience it, and we got to coach them through it, and there's different ways. Sometimes you're trying to drag it out of them, and you're harder on them, and you're demanding, and there's that tack. Then there's the encouragement side. Then there's kind of things where you don't address every little thing. And you hope that the veterans are talking to each other, like someone mentioned in halftime, before the coaches even walk in there, that there's some ownership in that locker room. Again, we've had a revolving door with point guards. We have Leja and Ari not playing. Now, both Odyssey and Crystal have been with us long enough and are on rest of season contracts. But, it's asking a lot of them that haven't been here very long to really be the leaders. We have some veterans in the post group. We have some veterans that have been in really good locker rooms around this league that, again, we're asking them to take on a role that's an enhanced role than maybe what they've been in the past years, and really trying to help them, with that leadership, help them with that voice that, is so important, because it just can't always be the coaches. So, again, tonight was frustrating, like we've lost games and, I can find a lot of positives, a lot of games, but tonight, that 92 points in the defense of what we really were trying to accomplish is disappointing.
Last question, Ray.
Hey, Coach, Stream right from the Sporting Tribune. The Sparks have been eliminated from a playoff contention. Is there going to be any changes going forward? And also, did you just say that Odyssey's on the rest of your contract?
I guess not, right? She's on the third day. Second or third 7 day. She's on her third 7 day, Ray. Sorry, I misspoke that way.
No problem.
What were you saying? Changes, again, we're just going to keep exploring, obviously, giving people looks to give us the best chance to win. But honestly, it's, you got to play people that continue to earn minutes. Thank you.
All right, LA Sparks Weekly fans, thank y'all for hanging out with us. We actually just heard from Coach and the players in the press conference. You just heard it live. It's sounding very deflated. It's sounding very, oh my goodness, what happened to us? It sounds like we're at a point where coaching is frustrated because we knew the things that were going to happen and we still couldn't stop them. Kahari, how did the press conference make you feel? Like, where do you think we are after hearing from coach and players tonight?
It's kind of like we said earlier. I feel like we at a point where you need to just focus on the pieces that you need for next season. Okay, who I'm a keep? How can I build for next season? Like I said, you got De'Erica has a contract. You signed Azare. You have the 2 rookies in Rakia and Cam. I think you start preparing for that and see how can I build and what can I learn from this season.
And De'Erica said in the press conference that the question was asked, do you give halftime speeches? And she like, nah, I don't really do that. I'm almost wondering if De'Erica turned up on them, if they would act right. Because she said, I don't parent my kids that way. Like, you got to be accountable for yourself. And it's like, they might need veteran leadership to be more hard on them. And she said that she was going to develop it in the offseason. So it's like, mentally, is she already preparing for the next season? What are your thoughts around that?
I don't think that she's going to be ever be able to bring that energy. They might have to bring someone in to bring that vocal leadership or try to see who they have. But De'Erica has a lot going on right now. You can see it. So that's why I feel like she's at mentally. You can tell, like you say, she hasn't been the same since the Olympic break. So mentally, where she's at, it's probably at multiple places right now.
And you know what? I don't even think it's fair to ask a player like more. I mean, I get yes, more, be our leader, more. But she is already doing so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now she got to be the cheerleader and the person to tell them to be accountable. And we know the things. Like, it almost feels like that's so out of her comfort zone, if that is.
Yeah.
It's warming to hear that she's willing to try that, but it's also kind of feels like unfair.
That's how what I felt from her. She was like, I mean, I'll try, but like, she's so nice and sweet. She's like, okay, I'll try to be this, but you can't try to take all her energy.
Yeah. And she shows it more than she tells it. She strikes me as one of those people.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah. And then Rakia was in the press conference as well and talked about, I asked about her defensiveness. She said she's trying to do that every game with the 3 blocks. Love to hear that from her. And matching up against Angel Reese, of course, fires her up. She also said it does kind of motivate her a lot that people want to play more aggressive toward her. What are your thoughts on Rakia moving forward and experiencing these losses, which Coach talked about? Because the experience sometimes is a better teacher than any coaching could be.
And you couldn't have said it better. Experience is your best teacher. And I feel like Rakia is just learning the game. A couple of weeks ago, Coach said that she's a potential all-star in the future, and everyone sees it. So as long as she could continue to learn the game, you know, noticing that, okay, y'all respect me. Players are, why y'all trying to go at me? Okay, now I got to turn on my defense. Those little things like that matters. Those experiences matters for her.
Yep. All right, Kari, it's time. And you the guest here on the show. So let me know who is your player of the game tonight.
Who was my player of the game tonight? I gotta say Odyssey.
Odyssey, okay.
Yeah, I just like her leadership. You know what I mean? Like I said, I be looking at things. Everything don't have to be on a statistical board, but I saw how vocal she was out there. The fact that, you know, you don't see this nowadays like that. Okay, if my rookie is scoring, I don't care that she's a rookie. Let's give it back to her.
Yep.
That might not even been a coach move. That might have been Odyssey's just like, oh, go back to you. You can score. They're not stopping you. Go back to you. 4 or 5 plays in a row, she went right back to Rakia.
Yep.
Me, I like that type of leadership because now you're building Rakia's confidence. You already know. I've been in the, how long Odyssey been in the league? 8+ years?
Yeah, I think this is year 8 for her.
Yeah, so you already know. Like, this is my time. It's your time. Go with no egos, and I like that.
Okay. Odyssey for the attitude. My player of the game, I'm going to have to give it to De'Erica. You gotta have regular, consistent, fantastic play. De'Erica has shown up for double digits once again. Cut that curve after the Olympic break. You know, sometimes you don't come back and you have a couple off games and your mental could just be thrown. She has not done that. She has continued to show her worth through the play, and then even in the press conference talking about developing for next year. So De'Erica is my player of the game today. LA Sparks Weekly. Man, we got another loss. We a little bit deflated here. We're at the end of the season, but this is good things are happening. We are talking about building for the future. It was a late game for the people on the East Coast and us here for the West Coast.
No, it's pretty much late. It's 9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock. So thank y'all for staying up with us. Make sure you tap in and follow Infanity TV as well as LA Sparks Weekly. We are going to be live for all of our post games in the studio on X. So make sure you follow us. Make sure you follow me and Michael. Thank y'all so much for showing love. Kahari as well. We will see y'all next episode.